What's up, guys? Welcome to Libertalia Game Supply. I got a deck profile for you today. We're going to take a look at my Bujin list. It's by far my favorite deck of all time. I've been playing it ever since it came out, and I got kind of a unique build, I think. It's a little bit more combo-oriented and less about protect the castle like it has been for so long, so I'm hoping you guys like this idea. We're going to start this off with 2 Bujin Yamato. Yamato can add 1 from your deck to your hand and then discard a card to the graveyard. Add 1 Bujin monster, that is. I only play him at 2 because his effect activates in the end phase, and we want to be able to push for turn 1 boards rather than just sit on 1 monster and hope that we can last through the opponent's turn to start making our plays. So that's why we got 2. Then we got 1 Bujin Mikazuchi. Mikazuchi can summon himself from the hand if one of your Bujin Beast Warriors on the field gets destroyed. Also, during the end phase, if you discarded a Bujin card at any point in that turn, while he was on the field, he can add a Bujin spell or trap from your deck to your hand. I play 1 because there's only 1 search target for him, and his replace effect is pretty cool, but he doesn't do much to push for a board on your turn. Rather helps you recover when your opponent starts messing with your board on their turn. Now I'll show you the next 3 all together here. So we got 2 Harume and 1 Arasuda. So Harume can banish a Bujin from the graveyard to special summon herself from the hand, but she can't be normal summoned. Arasuda, when 1 is banished from the graveyard or the field, can special summon himself from the hand. So we only play the 2 and the 1 versus the 3 and the 2 because this can't be normal summoned. So if you open this, it's not quite as good because you didn't have a chance to fill your graveyard. Unless you happen to open your 1 of Foolish Burial or something. And then Arasuda just combos nicely with her. And then our last 3 Beast Warriors are going to be the 3 Bujin Haruko. He's the Pendulum monster. I play 3 because I also play 3 Unexpected Die, so this acts as one of your extenders, as well as also, I guess, another one of your extenders. So he can be summoned to help make Link or Xyz plays. He also can, from the Pendulum Zone, banish himself to rank up one of your Bujin Xyz monsters to any other Bujin Xyz monster. So this is your main way of getting to Arasuda, or to Amaterasu rather, and then pushing through with her effect to keep building your board. And then we will move on. I got 2 Bujingi Crane and 1 Sinew. Crane can discard itself from the hand of the graveyard during the damage step in order to double the original attack of any of your Bujin Beast Warriors. And then Sinew does the same thing from the graveyard as Honest, essentially. So you would banish it when one of your Bujin Beast Warriors battles. It will double, or it will add attack equal to the opponent monster that you are doing battle with, but it can only inflict half battle damage. The reason I play 2 and 1 versus like 3 and 1 or just the 3 of these is because turn 1 he's searchable. They're all searchable. And turn 1 I want to have access to my combo pieces rather than this, and then I can just search that if I want it to build the board. There are instances where I would side in the 3rd one of these. I do have the 3rd one in the side, and I'll explain that as we get towards the end of that video. Then we got 2 Hare and 1 Turtle. I would either play 2 and 1 or 2 and 1. One way or the other, I want 3 of these. So Hare can banish itself in the graveyard to protect one of your Bujin Beast Warriors from being destroyed. And then Turtle can banish itself from the graveyard to negate a targeting effect. So depending on what you're playing against, I side the extra Turtle. I would switch 1 in and out depending on what effects I think I'm going to have to protect myself from more frequently. Then we got the 1 Quillen. Quillen can banish itself from the graveyard as long as you control a Bujin Beast Warrior to pop a face-up card on the field. So that's anything like a field spell, a monster, a continuous trap, whatever it happens to be. Just really handy. All right, and then the first of our techs here, I got Danger Mothman. This card is excellent in this deck. It's so great. It's a level 4, so it works with your Ahashima, your Bujin Link, and also with a lot of your Xyz plays. And he works like every other Danger Monster works. You reveal it, your opponent randomly picks 1, discards it. If it's not Mothman, he special summons it. You draw 1. If they do target it, and you have to discard Mothman, you both get to draw a card, so either way it's card advantage. And draw power is something that this deck definitely needs access to. So 3 of these, it's great. Would not take out any of them. And then this slot here is pretty much any 2 hand traps. I picked Nibiru just because if your opponent starts putting up a big board, it's kind of hard to play over it with this deck. You can attack over a lot of things, but you can't really play through as many nasty effects. So I want to try to clear that board out as best I can. This can be pretty much anything you want. Ghost Ogres, Ash, Effect Veiler, whatever it is. But that's Nibiru for now. And then for our spells, I got 3 Fire Formation Tenki, searches a Beast Warrior from your deck to your hand, so just searches out essentially your combo pieces. Here's the 3 Unexpected Die I was talking about. If you control no monsters, special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from the deck. So this is only to summon the Haruko, the Pendulum monster. You only really want it turn 1, but if you get it turn 1, it can be really great, just as a way to really get your play started. For some draw power here, I got 2 Pot of Desires. I was trying to choose between Desires and Extravagance. The reason I chose Desires is because a lot of the combo pieces in the deck are interchangeable, but in the extra deck they're not. And so I didn't want to take the chance of losing some of my extra deck pieces with Extravagance. I chose Desires instead, and it really hasn't come up where this really screws me in testing by getting rid of stuff that I really need. So I definitely like Desires here. Then we got the 1 Foolish Burial, like I was saying, just being able to set up that graveyard a little bit. You can pick and choose the effects you want with Foolish Burial, so you got like your protection and your destruction and all that stuff. So just a nice utility card. I got 2 Twin Twisters. Just some back row destruction. This is an easy side out if you end up deciding that that's how you want to go if your opponent's not playing a whole lot of back row. I like it also because you have to discard 1 to use the effect, and it also helps set up that graveyard just a little bit. Here's another extender. We got Instant Fusion. Self-explanatory, right? Like special summon your level 4 fusion target from the graveyard, or from the extra deck rather. So you can keep going off with your plays. And then here's our 1 target for Mikazuchi. It's Bujin Carnation. So if you have no monsters on the field, you can special summon 1 banished and 1 graveyard-ridden Bujin monster to your side of the field and then immediately XYZ summon with them. So it's a nice little comeback card. I played more of them. I played 2 of them before. Ahashima does kind of the same thing, but even a little bit better. So I cut it down to 1 just because it does come up once in a while. Otherwise, that would be why I only play the 1. And then our traps, we got 2 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Lost Winds, and 2 Solemn Strike. So this trap lineup is kind of interchangeable depending on what you prefer. This is an easy side out for me just because I might want a different hand trap available, or for one of the options I'll show you here that would require the 3rd Crane with Black Garden, I would probably take something like this out. Lost One I like a lot just because for 2 slots it's 4 trap cards because it can keep reusing itself and it comes in clutch. So I would definitely keep this, and I think 2 is a perfect number. Strike I also have liked a lot, so if anything I would cut these 2 out to maybe put in something else if you like something else better. But this is my trap lineup. So that'll finish up the main deck. We're going to take a look at the extra deck now. So you got Bujinki Ahashima, the Link monster. This is what kind of inspired me to build this deck. So what she does is, when she's summoned, you can special summon a level 4 monster from your hand and from your graveyard with different names. Once they're on the field, you immediately overlay with them. So what you're doing is you're going to summon this, put your 2 monsters on board, probably a Bujin monster and something else, or 2 Bujin monsters, or whatever it is you're trying to make, overlay them, and then that's where your combo starts. So I'm playing 3 because the 3rd one you probably won't really need to go into super often, but if you need the 3rd and you don't have it, it's pretty terrible, and having it and not needing it isn't too bad. And so that's why I decided on 3. Then I got 2 Susanoo. This is a big piece for just pumping out crazy damage. So it can attack every monster your opponent controls once each. It can detach a material to search a Bujin and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So this would be searching your Crane or your Sinew, or back row protection like your Hare and your Turtle, or Quillen if you need to pop something. Like it kind of similar to Foolish Burial. It can be whatever effect you need it to be. Great at 2. I got 1 Kagutsuchi. On summon, it mills 5 cards from the top of your deck. Any Bujin card in the milled 5 adds 500 to it. And I really like this card just because if something were to be destroyed, one of your Bujin Beast Warriors, you can detach material from this instead. So this kind of gives you a little bit of staying power without needing so much graveyard setup. I think at 1 it's really nice. Bujintai Tsukiyomi. This is mostly for your rank up plays with Hiroko. So if you feel like you need to refill that hand, you can do the Ahashima play and make your Tsukiyomi, discard, detach to discard your hand, draw 2, use your Pendulum Monster to rank this up into any of your other ones, and it's off the board right away. But I wouldn't really want to leave this on board at the end of the turn just because its stats are kind of not great, and it doesn't do much for you after you get your draw. Amaterasu, excellent card. This is kind of what we're focusing on. After you got Ahashima out, you've used your effect, you've gotten your 2 material Xyz monsters summoned, you're going to rank up into this. This can detach 1 during your opponent's turn to add a banish card back to your hand, or during your turn to special summon a banish card. So it's really nice on your turn. You would end with like Ahashima and Amaterasu, detach to special summon 1, and then hopefully you have an extender or something so you can get another Xyz monster on board. And it just makes boards so much bigger and nastier with this deck than it could do before. I got the 1 giant hand just because it's giant hand. I was super excited to get a copy of the prize card version finally, so I needed a deck to play it in. Might as well put it in the favorite deck. Gaga Magician, because that's not ridiculous. This was kind of experimental. If something were to come out of this extra deck, it would probably be this. What it does is you can detach 1 to special summon an Xyz monster from your graveyard to your side of the field and negate its effects. So what I was kind of thinking with here, and it did work sometimes, is I would detach 1 to special summon one of my Bujin Xyz, then rank it up into something else, and now you get an extra effect. Or worst case scenario, you can detach 1 to special one of your bigger Bujin Xyz and you have extra attack power. It does work. It just isn't as reliable as I had hoped, so I don't know that I'm going to keep this, but for now it works well enough for me to keep it. We got our staples. Exciton Knight, 101, Silent Honor Arc, Gaga Cowboy, and Abyss Dweller. So just your staple rank 4 monsters. Great to have. Wouldn't really cut any of them. And then our last one is our instant fusion target, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So I'll explain to you guys what I was talking about with that third crane. Is I side triple Blackguard, and the reason I side it is because I don't want to see it if I have to go first, because all you're going to do then is give your opponent a bunch of tokens that they can then use to link or synchro summon with, especially now with Master Rule 5. It's just going to mess you up. So I only want to play it if I know that I get to go second. So then I would side in the third crane, I would side in 3 of these, maybe a terraforming, and what I want to do is activate it, go through all my combos, put 5 tokens on their side of the field, special summon Susanoo, search your crane. Susanoo is going to attack the first token, use your crane, so it'll double the 4,800. Then after the crane effect wears off, it doesn't drop down to its half attack that Blackguard put it at initially. It'll drop down to 2,400. So then when you attack the other 4 tokens, it's enough damage to win. It's an OTK. So it's just a really cool kind of cheesy play that you can pull off with this deck. But it's totally worth it, and it feels awesome when you pull it off. So I want to thank you guys for checking out this deck list. If you have any ideas or suggestions for things that could be changed or ways it could be made better, I'm absolutely open to hearing them. I love this deck, so I definitely would be interested in hearing any insight that anybody else happens to have on it. But thank you guys once again for just hanging out with me for a couple minutes here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you have not yet, and I will see you guys in the next video.